Welcome back to the Shipyard. Today, something, that I've needed to do for a while. That's right, the Ferengi faction pack. Now, you've heard me talk about it on my top factions list. You know that I like it. That doesn't mean that every single card in here is great. So there will be criticisms. Say that ahead of time. That doesn't mean that those cards are bad. They don't suit my playstyle. Um, they have use in missions. They have use in certain scenarios. We just don't quite know what those are. Anyways, always remember to drink water even when it's winter and you're cool. Stay hydrated. Anyways, PSA out of the way. First, first ship up, Goss's shuttle. This is obviously a shuttle. 12 points for 2222. Uh, and other ships within range 1 to 2 cannot be removed from the play area unless they are destroyed. Nice ability. Came out after the warp jump nerf and all the cards that followed. So, this would have been a very interesting deployment tactic, and it was designed to combat warp jump and such. But now, it is a ship with a named ability that serves zero purpose. I mean, I guess it's a shuttle. It still functions as a shuttle. It's a discount. It's got some durability, but for the most part, it has zero purpose. But if you ever felt like going back to the rogue days of warp jump, the wild wild west, I guess we can call it that. Goss's shuttle would be an interesting include. Solok's Marauder. This is a ship that, well, I haven't quite figured out if I like it or not. It's a standard Decora Marauder 3143. Double crew weapon tech. I mean, all that's nice. 20 points, decent discount. Um, Under old pointing, it would be 22, so it's not like the Decora got a huge recost. Um, but the named ability here is nice. When this ship performs a 3 turn, bank, or straight, this ship may perform a white maneuver. If it does, it rolls -1 attack die this game round. Okay, that's fine. Doing an extra white maneuver on top of a 3 gives you lots of options. You can 2 turn after 3 turning, right? That's your come about right there. You can 3 bank 2 turn. You can 3 straight 2 turn. You can 3 bank 4 straight. Uh, there's a decent amount of white on this style, and that gives you a ton of unpredictability. It is much more of a runaway or at least get out of arc ability, and I think there's a place for that. Um, I'm not 100% sold that it helps the current state of Ferengi play. But if there was a nice passive regeneration, um, right, put time tokens on this card to repair a shield or repair a hull damage, then that would pair very nicely on Solok's Marauder. Um, Nevertheless, Solok's Marauder can get you out of a very tough situation. And I do think that there's something there. I'm just not 100% sold on it. Now, Prax Marauder, you can see, costs 21, so not all Decoras cost the same thing. So this is a ship that only got a 1 point discount. Uh, Now, interestingly enough, it is crew weapon double tech, so it swaps out a crew for a tech. And this one's a bit more of a disruptor. Action, target a tech or weapon upgrade equipped to an opposing ship within range 1 to 2. Each player rolls 5 attack dice. If you roll more battle stations than the controller of the target upgrade, steal it. Yeah, that's fun. Stealing weapons and tech. Um, it's an action. It's a very interesting action, but there's no. The only downside to this is that you lose your action. If you lose the roll, all you've lost is your action. If you win the roll, now they don't have their stuff and you do. You may not be able to use it, right? If you steal Disruptor Bombardment from a Gorn, you can't actually. You immediately discard it because you can't equip it. You're not a Gorn ship. But there's some interesting play here. I kind of like Prox Marauder. I don't think it's ever Worlds competitive, but I do think that it's there's a certain utility to it in scenarios, in organized play events, your monthly games, in campaigns, highly thematic. So I love Prox Marauder from that standpoint, and it's okay. Moving on, Lurin's Bird of Prey. I have said tons of great things about Lurin's Bird of Prey, but first off, it's Brel, and Brels are pretty good. A little fragile, but with Klingon cloaking device, they are better. They will stay alive. I said alive, very weird there. But the named ability is what really gets it. If there's an opposing ship in the primary firing arc of this ship and the primary firing arc of another Klingon ship with a Ferengi captain equipped to it, target that friendly ship. This ship attacks first this game round, and the target ship attacks second this game round. So there's one of the downsides of Ferengi is that they have low captain skills, even of independent, and to some extent even of Klingon. Lurin's Bird of Prey says, forget that. Because some of the better Ferengi captains are lower skill. Lurin is, probably the best Ferengi captain, and he's skill 7. But other good Ferengi captains are like skill 4 or 5. And that's not enough to win a fight. At least not an initiative fight. But here, you get to shoot first. And second. There's weird nebulous rules. Well, they're not really nebulous. If it's Lurin and Lurin, you both go first. And then your counterparts both go second. Initiative breaks who actually shoots first, but you're both classified as first for the purposes of simultaneous fire. But yeah, it's a Brel. Cloak it, echo it, dance around, have fun, shoot lots of things, and enjoy your 90 arc. And life's good. Right? Why wouldn't it be? Now we get to see a bunch of generics, and generics that got recosted. Decora went down to 16. I'm still not running a generic Decora because it's all about named abilities. The generic Brel went down to 13, and that's crazy good. Generic Ferengi Shuttle went down to 8. That's nice, but still probably not enough to ever make me want to run it. Although, if I'm desperate to run a Ferengi Shuttle, or any shuttle, I will run this. Alright, our first captain is Berta, and honestly I forget about Berta. But Berta gets 3 Gold Press Latinum tokens. We've talked about Gold Press Latinum at least somewhat. But in short, they can either recover previously discarded cards or give you a battle station. I think they can do some other token, but battle station's the most useful of the tokens they can give you. Or I think they can give you bonus captain skill, but don't do that. Take your token or recover cards. Um, I think it was Necro who pulled off a recovery of a cloaked mine, and that gave him a second copy of Cloaked Mines on the board, and that's just devious. Um, but anyways, Berta says in the planning phase, spend a GPLT, Gold Press Latinum token, and target a captain equipped to another ship. Increase or decrease the target captain skill by 2 this game round. Okay, that's nice, but I'm not going to pay 5 points for it and spend my only captain ability to do that. I guess there are times where I am desperate to increase my captain skill, but there's got to be better ways than Berta to do it, especially at 5 points. Prac. Prac is a 6 skill, 4 point talent slot. At least we get that talent. You get 2 GPLT. You spend 1, target an opposing ship, and they get to make a choice. Do they repair? Do they let you repair either a hull or shield, or do they not perform actions? That's the choice. Now, if you don't have damage, they can tell you to repair damage, and you get nothing for it. So don't spend GPLT to do this when you have no damage. The problem I have with Prac is that you have to take damage in a round, then have a ship in range 1 to 2 to use this ability in the next round. It's just a little, the tempo's too slow for me. But Prac is okay. Less than okay. And denying actions just isn't that big of a dissuasion. Most of the time I'll say, yeah, you know what, go ahead, repair 1 damage. What does that cost me? Not much. Alright. Gint, and I feel like Gint is also an admiral. Yeah, Gint's an admiral. Okay, so Gint's a 2 skill captain. We'll get to the admiral in a minute. You may equip the Grand Nagis and Rules of Acquisition elite talent upgrades to this captain. You get 2 gold press latinum. And when you would spend 1 or more GPLT, you roll a number of defense dice equal to the number of GPLT that would be spent for each evade. You spend 1 fewer. Okay, so it's a cost savings, but with only 2 to start, and there are ways to get more, but with only 2 to start, kind of a rough idea. The Admiral version is the same start, but then here is when a friendly captain would spend 1 or more. So that does count. Does it count the ship Gint is on? That I'm going to have to think about. Because I know a ship is not friendly to itself, but is a captain friendly to an admiral if they're on the same ship? That's weird. Don't know. I would hope. Gint as an admiral is not fantastic. But Gint does let you carry a couple of talents, and that much is okay. I'd still rather run Zek as a Ferengi admiral. Alright, the last captain that we skipped over was Damon Solok. Solok's probably the best captain in this pack. Though he doesn't look like it at first glance. 4 skill, 2 points, 2 gold press latinum. But here's what else you get to do in setup. You pick 2 crew, each with a printed cost of 3 or less. Put them face down. In the activation phase, you spend a gold press latinum and you flip one of the crew beneath this card face up, equip it to the ship, toss the other one out. So what you do is you get to bring two situational crew and say, which one do I want? Or you use it to hide a crew that you don't want your opponent to target at the start of the game and protect it, and you bring a throwaway crew that you're never going to use anyways. So yeah. Damon Solak is great. Damon Solak gives you a lot of options, and hide cards are typically intriguing, right? You've got Quark, Damon Solak, Cryogenic Stasis, DNA encoded messages. Shinzon's not great, but Shinzon still is at least intriguing. All right, the aforementioned the rules of acquisition talent must go on a Ferengi captain. I mean, that much makes sense. Place 6 gold press latinum tokens on the captain equipped to the ship, and that's great. Gold press latinum does a lot, but this is 5 points, and 5 points is a lot. And I'm not sure that 6 GPLT makes up for 5 points. I guess if you're using your gold to repurchase a discard, then this card pays for itself, but that's still a rough call. I don't know. The ability's fine. I just feel like it's that tad bit overcosted. The other talent that we've already talked about is Grand Nagis. Another Ferengi captain only. Action, discard this card, target all friendly Ferengi ships. All target ships may perform a green maneuver. Now this one I actually kind of like. I don't think it has anything to do with a Grand Nagis, but that's okay. It's a 2-point discard, but being able to do an extra green maneuver sometimes can really make a difference. The downside again is Ferengi ships have low captain skill, and so they're often moving early. But if you plan this well, you can do stuff to interfere with where your opponent wants to be because you move earlier than they do. So yeah, I think there's something here. But I still would have liked to have seen this as a time token card, even if it was like 4 or 5. Because then it's not a discard and it's not just that one use. Alright, weapon ports. We've seen a version of weapon ports. This is a different version. This is forward attack, or forward arc only. 3 dice, range 1 to 3, 2 points, so it's a little discount. If this card is disabled, this ship rolls -1 defense die. Attack, disable this card and target an opposing ship. This attack deals no damage. If this attack hits an attack squadron, discard 1 attack squadron for each uncancelled hit or crit. So this is the cheap version of weapon ports. The one that came on the Ferengi booster was 4 dice, but I think it was 4 points, and basically did the exact same thing. So I like the other version better because more dice was better for getting rid of more squadrons, and once they had a little bit of defense, you could actually punch through it. 3 dice just makes me cringe and go, am I actually going to get through? I don't know. Alright, Ferengi Photon Torpedoes. I have called these one of the best 2-point cards, one of the best secondary weapons. It's kind of a what's not to like here. You can fire them from primary or secondary arcs. They cost 2 points. The attack value of the weapon is the ship's primary weapon value. You can fire them at range 1 to 3. Attack, place 2 time tokens on this card, target an opposing ship. Place an Ox power token beside the target ship. So you get to put the Ox down no matter what happens. And with 2 time tokens, you are firing this every other round, and they are so cheap, you can just run 2 and fire Photon Torpedoes every round, and you might as well just give them an Ox every single round. Does that start to feel broken? It starts to feel a little broken to me. I mean, it's not the be all end all, but it's something that's really good. Speaking of confusing, messy, broken cards, Verteron Pulse Trap. Setup: place a minefield token anywhere that is not within range 1 to 2 of any edge of the play area. Okay, so that's setup. That's early on. Then, when a ship moves within range 1 of the minefield token, target that ship, place an Ox Power token beside the target ship, and for the sake of my sanity, I am not going to talk about when that token is placed and what happens with green and or red maneuvers. There's a whole WARF discussion on it. I think it's all wrong, but yeah. All right. You know what? Let's go 3 in a row for crazy good cards. Chemosite. If this was either of the abilities, this would be a great card. But it's both, so it's an even greater card. Activation phase. When you reveal this ship's maneuver, you may increase the speed of the maneuver by 2. Not by 1 or 2, just by 2. So a 1 becomes a 3, a 2 becomes a 4, a 3 becomes a 5, a 4 becomes a 6. A 2 reverse becomes a 4 reverse. And a 1 reverse becomes a 3 reverse. The color of the maneuver remains the same as the revealed maneuver. Two banks that are green are 4 banks that are green. Yes, that's fun. Alright, so that's a fantastic card. Right there. There's no discard, there's no time tokens, there's no disable, there's nothing there. That alone should be a 3-point card. If not 4. We've never seen anything that crazy with altering maneuvers. Then, on top of all of that, they give us this bottom part of the card. When attacking, discard this card, add 1 hit. That's the icing. That's the little dollop of whipped cream on top of a delicious pumpkin pie. Or chocolate mousse. We'll go chocolate mousse. That sounds better. Yeah. Chemosite. Chemosite should frustrate me because it's too good. And it ruins design space. I heard about this card. And when I heard about the card, I went, oh, so it costs like 4 or 5 points. And they said, nope. I'm like, oh, 6? They said, you're going the wrong way. I said, okay, so it'll be a nice 3-point card? And they kind of laughed at me. And I'm going, oh no. But yeah. Anyway. T9 Energy Converter. This is an end phase. Disable this card and remove an Ox Power token beside this ship. Repair 1 shield on this ship. Well, the Vulcan faction would love this. Would love a card like this. So there is some precedent for it to exist. I guess Solox is a fan of this. Because you can red maneuver Solox to do a white. Now you're kind of out of the fray. You disable, remove the Ox that you got from doing that red maneuver, and then you get your shield repair. Now you do have to have the Ox to get the shield repair, because the condition of the card is to disable and remove an Ox. But you know what? It's cheap. It's fairly sustainable. It's not immensely sustainable, but it's somewhat sustainable. And it's nice repair. Alright. Yeah, it's a faction pack. There's a ton of stuff here. Gigas. 3-point crew. Action. Place 2 time tokens on this card. Target a tech or question mark upgrade equipped to another ship. Place 3 time tokens on the target upgrade. That's it, range 1 to 2. But Gigas is a net positive, except he spends your action. Is an action worth 1 extra time token? I'm not sure. As more question marks come out, maybe. As far as the tech go, I'm not sold. Sure, there's some very good tech. But this also feels like a card that was potentially built to combat warp jump interface generator, stuff like that. But it's so limited in what it actually does. I think in order to feel truly useful, I need more than just 1 extra round. I need 2 rounds. And then we're looking at something that's actually viable. Alright, Parlenor is one of those cards that feels interesting to me. I want to see played, but I don't think I ever will. When this ship would be destroyed by an attack, that's a key clarifying phrase. Equip this card to the attacking ship, even if it exceeds that ship's restrictions. With a number of gold press platinum tokens on this card equal to the number of GPLT on the captain on this ship. Activation phase. The opposing player may spend 1 GPLT on this card. Place 1 disabled token on an upgrade equipped to this ship. So Parlenor is essentially a spy that doesn't get activated until after your ship goes boom. The problem is, after a ship goes boom, I don't know that I can do enough. There's times, it's just that the games become so defensive, so built on attack cancellation, that if I do lose a ship, I may have lost the game. I don't know. It's a thought. So Parlenor's okay, but again, I don't think I'm ever going to see the card played. And that kind of makes me sad, because it's an intriguing ability. Latex. Action, discard this card, place an Ox Power token beside the ship. This ship rolls +2 attack dice this game round. Okay. At least we're getting action for 2 attack dice. In order to fully make this work, you need to use GPLT to get a battle station, so that you have some quality. Ideally, you also want a target lock. And then you would also want, I think it's Nava, but it might be Grawl, that gives you a GPLT back when you discard crew Ferengi cards. In that case, you're covering yourself, and you're getting bonus dice. Now, you're spending an action to do it, and that's okay. We can't be entirely afraid of spending actions to do stuff. But Latex is intriguing, and again, just feels woefully inefficient, but something about 2 more dice feels better to me. Alright, Grawl. In phase, discard this card or another crew upgrade equipped to the ship. Now that is optional because it's a discard effect. Grawl can only go on a ship with a Ferengi captain. And then you get to place 2 GPLT on the captain equipped to this ship. It's not bad for a 1-point card. Um, Ideally, you have other crew you can get rid of. Um, Sakona comes to mind. Put Sakona on the ship, discount those Ferengi Photon Torpedoes. Now you got some stuff. There's some other Klingon, or not Klingon, Ferengi uh, crew that can be discarded. Uh, but on something like Lern's Bird of Prey, you can put Sakona and Mirror Koth and do a bunch of disables on your opponent to start the game. And now you've got 2 crew you can burn. Grawl comes in. You still have to have a spot for Grawl, but we have ways of getting extra crew slots. Alright, Nava. When a Ferengi crew upgrade would be discarded from this ship, place 1 GPLT on the captain equipped to this ship. So Nava was the card I was saying worked at least okay with Latex. It's not a perfect combo by any means, but it's at least an interesting combo. Nava works well with Grawl, discarding a bunch of Ferengi. Ultimately, at the end, you discard Grawl one last time, or a last time. You get 2 for Grawl going away. You get 1 for Nava being there with Grawl. Then you bring stuff back. You bring Grawl back, I think. Then discard Nava. Get 2 for Grawl. And then discard Grawl one last time. Yeah. There's some weird stuff, but you get the idea. Lots of ways to generate gold press latinum. Groka is kind of the out of place, because where's our Captain Quark as a Klingon? That's what I want to know. But Groka's a Klingon. You do not pay a faction penalty when equipping this card to a Ferengi ship. Fitting. Opposing effects that cost 1 or more gold press latinum cost +1. Now that's your anti-gold press latinum tech. And this is only a 1-point card. Much better when you know your opponent is running gold press latinum, so in missions. But Groka still has a place. She's a discard at worst, but she's okay. All right, Biomimetic Gel. This is the card that gets messy. Mostly there's a whole rule page that goes with it. But this card counts as either tech or weapon. Activation phase. Place 2 time tokens on this card. Target a crew, weapon, or tech equipped to another ship. That can be your own ship. Place a Biomimetic Gel token on the targeted ship, or on the target upgrade. Okay. Biogel rules. If you put it on a crew, the ship that placed the token on the crew may spend the token to use the ability of this crew. Seems simple. If you put it on a weapon, when the weapon deals damage to an opposing ship's hull, the ship that placed the token on this weapon may spend the gel to discard a crew upgrade of their choice equipped to the defending ship. So that's something you'd put on friendly weapons, not enemy weapons. Tech, when the ability of this tech upgrade is used, the ship that placed the biogel token on the tech upgrade may spend the biogel to put 2 time tokens on each crew upgrade equipped to this ship. So that's something you use on enemy ships to mess with their tech. Crew can go either way. You might want to copy your own crew. You might want to copy enemy crew. Both have validity. Weapons, definitely enemies. And tech, well, yeah, tech, you go All right. Then the last part of the rule. When a biogel token is spent, roll an attack die. On a battle station's result, so 2 out of 8, 1 out of 4, 25%, uh, is rolled, discard both the biogel upgrade card and the target upgrade the biogel was on. So you can put it on an enemy crew that you don't like, use it, and potentially get rid of it. Now, that is useful. Uh, that is very useful. And the last thing we're going to do is just go over everything for Gold Press Platinum because rather than me fiddling with it all, figure we'd have it here. So in the planning phase, start of the planning phase, spend 1 to get rid of an ox. Activation phase, once per game, spend any GPLT to equip a crew, tech, or weapon upgrade with a cost equal to the amount of GPLT spent that was discarded from this ship. And lastly, combat phase, start of, spend a GPLT, place a battle station, evade, or scan. Yeah, I like the battle station the best of those, but there is potentially a time where an evade might come in handy. All right, that is the Ferengi pack. There were, of course, mission tokens with it, but a lot of playable cards, a lot of very good cards, but also a lot of playable cards. Not the best captains. Dame Solok is good, but the rest of them are eh. But some interesting ships, um, and some very interesting crew, and some interesting upgrades. So my apologies that this has been almost 40 minutes, but there were a ton of cards to cover, and I'm not going to shortchange it. So, yeah, thank you all for watching, and until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. And I'm going to go to bed. Take care, guys.